Droopneck. Written by Anthony Carabache. Illustrated by Odessa Carabache. Narrated by Michelle Carabache. Martin and Montgomery woke up on Saturday morning and started to play on their tablets long before they were allowed to. "Now, boys," their father would say, "if you spend too much time on your tablets, you'll get a serious medical condition known as Droopneck." "Come on, Dad," Montgomery would say. "There's no such thing as Droopneck." Martin, on the other hand, wasn't so sure. They played ever so quietly as their father came down the stairs. But this time, their father did not ask them to stop. Not even once. The boys played for 10 hours straight that Saturday. They didn't want to eat breakfast. They didn't want to eat lunch. They didn't want to eat dinner. They didn't want to eat at all. Their father even went so far as leaving bowls full of snacks for the boys on the table next to where they were playing, and not even those tasty treats were touched. That evening, just before bedtime, the boys finally put their tablets away, but they couldn't help but notice just how sore their necks were. "Monty," Martin asked, "do you think we're going to get Droopneck?" "No way, Marty," said Montgomery. "There's no such thing as Droopneck." On Sunday morning, the boys were very hungry, so they sat down to gobble a large breakfast. But when Montgomery raised his spoon full of cereal up to his mouth, he noticed that his mouth was a whole lot closer to his bowl. When Marty went to take a bite of his morning sandwich, he hardly needed to move his hand up to his mouth at all. Their necks had gotten longer. "Oh no," said Marty. "We've got Droopneck." "No way," said Montgomery. "We just got taller in our sleep." The boys stood up and measured their height against the wall their father had marked with their heights. Sure enough, they had gotten an entire 3 centimeters taller. "This is awesome," remarked Montgomery, while Marty slowly brightened up. "Yeah, Monty, you're right. This is awesome." The boys grabbed their tablets from the charging station and took their spots on the couch with tablets in hand. It seemed as though their father wasn't too worried about them, and they were happy to spend as much time as he would allow today. Slowly, their father came down the stairs, turned the corner, peered into the room, and said, "Now, boys, if you spend too much time on your tablets, you'll get a serious medical condition known as Droopneck." "Come on, Dad," Montgomery said. "There's no such thing as Droopneck." The boys played and played and played. The boys played for 10 hours straight that Sunday. They didn't want to eat lunch. They didn't want to eat dinner. They didn't want to eat at all. Again, their father even went so far as leaving bowls of snacks for the boys on the table next to where they were playing, and not even those tasty treats were touched. That evening, just before bedtime, the boys finally put their tablets away, but they couldn't help but notice just how sore their necks were. "Monty," Martin asked, "do you think we're going to get Droopneck?" "No way, Marty," said Montgomery. "There's no such thing as Droopneck." The next morning, the boys woke up and tried to get out of bed to get ready for school, but they couldn't. "Monty," said Martin, I'm having trouble lifting my head off the pillow." "Me too," said a worried Montgomery. "I really can't lift my head." "Daddy!" the 2 boys cried. Their father came into the room, buttoning up his shirt for work, and stood there in amazement. "Oh no, boys! I'm afraid the worst thing possible has happened. You actually got Droopneck!" Montgomery and Martin's necks were so long they could no longer carry the weight of their heads. They lay in bed, unable to move. "Okay, boys, I've asked Miss Bell to come and check on you throughout the day, and I've called the school to let them know that you'll be at home. Just stay put, and whatever you do, stay off your tablets." But the boys didn't listen. As soon as their father left for work, they both reached over to their night tables to grab their tablets. But because they couldn't lift their heads, all they could do was place the tablets on the floor, and with all their strength, they rolled over on their beds to use their tablets on the floor. They didn't listen to their father's warnings, not once. By now, their necks had gotten longer than their arms, and reaching the tablets was impossible. And they were stuck. Without the strength to lift their heads, the boys were stuck on their faces on their bedroom floor, while their bodies were on their beds. "I'm stuck, Monty," cried Martin. "I'm stuck too, Marty. Oh, I hate having Droopneck." The boys struggled for hours to get out of bed, but nothing worked. They struggled for so long that they eventually fell asleep. The end.